Yesterday, we did have some storms that rocked parts of the state. In fact, just a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and some small hail, too. So some trees that went over and some power outages because power poles were obviously affected. And we had Jim Gardner and Bob Mills, Sky News 9. He was up from above and watching the storms. We had Tom Pastrano, Marty Logan, Val and Amy Castor, Jeremy Carter. Yeah, lots of lightning within these storms as well. Let's go ahead and go to links 2 to show you where all the storm reports actually took place. Basically along I-35 and over to I-44. Stroud, Tricia Neal sent this one in, almost quarter-size hail there. And we had quite a bit of rain in pockets at least. Pam sent this in from Chickasha, almost 2.5 inches in her location. Officially in Oklahoma City Airport, a trace, of course. Now, other parts of Oklahoma County did see a little bit more rain, but we're talking about rain since Monday. So since this frontal boundary has been in the state, we've had a lot more rain in eastern Oklahoma, but 0.56 in Kingfisher, 0.49 in El Reno, 1.12 over in Putnam, 0.56 in Stillwater, a little bit more down there just south of Chickasha, probably a little over an inch in spots. But just looking at Next Gen Live, everything is pretty quiet right now. I do expect most of the day and most of the state to be pretty quiet. We've got mostly sunny skies over Chickasha. It's part of our Pike Pass SkyCam network. We're at 88 degrees. We've got a light and variable wind, dew points in the upper 60s. Temperatures generally in the upper 80s to low 90s statewide. We've got the boundary that's now just to the south and east. And so most of us have either a northeast or a northwest wind. And that's going to allow temperatures to slowly warm up today. It's still going to be a little hot out there, but nonetheless, I do not expect to reach 100 degrees this afternoon. This front's pretty much going to wash out here later on this evening and into tonight. And then that ridge, that heat dome, it's going to play a big part in our weather pattern for the next several days. In fact, as we get into the weekend, it should be right on top of us, and temperatures will make it back into the upper 90s by early next week. The low 100s return. The good news is, by the time we get into midweek of next week, we are seeing at least a little bit of a pattern change. A bigger storm system is going to be over the Great Lakes. This is going to help to push this ridge of high pressure farther out to the west. The jet stream comes down to the south. Cooler air moves in. Rain and storm chances move in. We're going to be in more of a northerly flow, and it is going to be a lot cooler around here. We're going to go from the low 100s by the early part of the week next week to probably at least the low 80s, if not maybe even a little bit cooler in spots. So today, certainly not cool by any means. 97 degrees despite a north to northeast wind between 5 to 15. Mid-90s in Ponca City, 97 and 8, about 97 degrees today in Lawton. For this afternoon, there is the slightest chance of an isolated shower storm basically along the Red River. Temperatures tonight drop down into the upper 60s in Oklahoma City, so not a bad start to your Thursday. Dropping down into the low 60s in Ponca City, 62 in Stillwater, 65 in Enid, and the upper 60s generally across the far west. Tomorrow afternoon, that wind is still going to be out of the east to northeast between 5 to 15, so temperatures right around normal. 93 in Stillwater, 95 in Oklahoma City, 93 in Alva, 91 though in Woodward. Still looking for the mid and upper 90s across the southwest. And then on Friday, now that wind is slowly trying to move back towards the south, so we're going to be out of the east to southeast, 5 to 15. So temperatures still in the mid 90s, not moving a whole lot, pretty much mid to upper 90s statewide. But as we get into the weekend, we're slowly going to start to warm things back up. By Sunday, 99. It still looks like the low 100s will be very reasonable for us to be able to get to Monday into Tuesday. But finally, by the time we get into Wednesday, the cold front moves in. That's going to increase our rain and storm chances pretty much statewide, at least at this point. That'll lower our temperature to 90 degrees on Wednesday, but low 80s look like a real possibility by Thursday of next week, and overnight lows cooling off as well down into the 60s.
With all the triple-digit heat we've had, it's amazing what a couple of degrees will do outside. It's so much better.
And it still looks like a much stronger cold front, one that we haven't seen so much this summer.